Give your customers what they want. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I'm holding up for you today. This is a media pass to Grants Pass Downs. This is the track here in town, and I live in Grants Pass, Oregon, and got a special media pass. And I'd like to thank Tag and everybody else over at Grants Pass Downs that we got to meet today. Both me and podcast producer Sean was out there. Sean E. Douglas got to meet some fabulous people out there, and there was one reason why we were put in this position, and it came from an email asking if they would like to if someone from their organization would like to be on our upcoming podcast. Okay, that's all it was. We all of a sudden we got invited to the VIP section, got to sit in the best place in the house, with the hospitality suite and all the rest of that. It's a very, very neat situation, very cool. Got to meet a whole bunch of other people that we'll be interviewing on our upcoming podcast, and just got the royal treatment, and everyone was happy to talk to us. And there's one reason why, and it's the same. It's something you can walk away with today, and that is to give your customers what they want. And not that we were talking directly to our customers, but one thing that we found out by doing podcasts is that certain people are starved for attention for their business, for their product, for their organization, for their cause. They want the proper attention given to it. And when you offer to give that to them free of charge, that's something that they like, if that's something that they're after. So you got to find out what your ideal client wants really, really, really bad, even if you don't offer it. Find someone else who does, and find a way to team up with them so that you can get that in their hands for free, or for a low price, or for a really great deal. Find a way to get what your people want in their hands before you ever make them a customer, or before you ever bring them back as a customer, if they're already previous customers. So if that makes sense, the podcasts that we've had, so up until now we've done, we have this podcast that goes on a regular basis, which doesn't have very many guests. It's very rare that we have any guests on here, something I'd like to remedy in the future. But being that it's a daily show and it's mostly about my opinions about things, it's not that necessary. We're just bringing out these ideas, tossing them out there, and then going back and forth on social media with you about these. We have another podcast called Off the Grid Biz Podcast. Off the Grid Biz Podcast. You can find that at offthegridbiz.com. And on that podcast, we have stories from business owners and thought leaders within the self-reliance field. So everybody from you just got to go check it out. Go check out offthegridbiz.com. We'll be having kind of a second season coming up later this year. In the next couple months, we're going to bring some new episodes. But you'll get to see the whole first season there, and some amazing stories, really good stuff. And what was valuable there, what we learned there, is that if we got in front of people that want to get their message out, whether that be an organization, whether it be a cause, whether it be just a business that's trying to make sales, if we were able to get them to come on the show and put their message out there, they were grateful for that. And in some cases, we've built up business relationships with them, and we've been able to get referrals and everything else that way. I mean, it's something that's still growing, and we're still really excited about it. With this new one, I'm going to tell you more about it in the future. It's something that you could possibly use if you. You don't need a podcast to do it, but you need to find out what your ideal customer wants, and see if you can get it to them first. And it's the cheese versus whiskers scenario that Dean Jackson, the marketing genius, talks about. He talks about cheese versus whiskers. So it's to a mouse, what is the most attractive thing in the world? And we're talking about cartoon mice here, really. I mean, really, what's the most attractive thing in the world is a big hunk of cheese, right? A really delicious taste. That's something that drives them. They go towards that. They're magnetized by it. And what is the one thing that does the complete opposite, that drives them away? It's the slightest whisker of a cat coming around the corner. And so they fear whiskers and they run toward cheese. And you have to look at your customers in the same sense. And in that just simple idea, there are attractors and there are detractors, and you've got to find the attractor and have them come toward you and trust you and understand that you're out for their best interests. Hopefully that makes sense to you. It's a simple concept, and I went through kind of a very intense strategy that we've been building up, and I kind of condensed some of the minor points about it right off the bat. I'll tell you more about that in the future. But hopefully you can take that lesson on and build it into your business. See if you can really rack your brain, get your people together, get people who might have a similar interest together, and brainstorm what are the things that our market wants more than anything else. That's a very important question to ask, and see if you can deliver it to them without asking for any compensation. That you build a magic friendship that way. So we'll be talking about more of that in the future. I wanted to remind you about Amazon Proof Strategy Session. That's over at brianjpombo.com/Amazon. Go check that out, especially if you're a business owner or an executive that's trying to really expand things and go to the next level, and it keeps running into competition. The one thing you need to do is be Amazon proof, meaning not even Amazon.com can stop you. Go check out brianjpombo.com/Amazon. That link is in the description. You click on it or copy and paste it and head on over right now. We're done for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.